Hello and welcome. If you're new to my channel, I am Amanda with Crafting with Amanda, and my links are here for how to connect with me. They'll also be in the video description. Today I am showing my club kit of what I send to my VIP members who order from me regularly. And so I sent them pieces from the Cosette papers along with, I went ahead and cut out 4 of the stamps of the month, the bird that is on that stamp of the month. So because most of these people that receive this are VIP members, I know that they received this stamp. So they'll be able to use it to finish the cards. And then off camera, I went ahead and colored in these birds. I did 2 of them with the gray-brown blend, and then I did 2 of them with the earth brown blend at the bottom. This card is kind of inspired from page 71 of the original books by Jeanette Linton, who was the founder, or is the founder of Close to My Heart. So that's kind of where the inspiration is coming for this. And I sent, along with the birds and some of the papers from Cosette, a piece of MIST cardstock, which I cut in half here. Also a strip of the MIST zip strip that was from the paper, and then a 5.5 inch ribbon with, it has a fine green stitch to it. So now I am just going ahead and cutting down some white daisy cardstock. I feel like the bird needs something to kind of have a background, so I'm just trying this out. I know that I'm going to end up cutting the zip strip because you don't see the middle, and I can use that on the second card. But I'm just playing around here, and I don't know about you, but I'm not feeling, there's too much white on this white daisy, so I'm not feeling it. So I thought, okay, well, what if I put a sentiment on here? And the Happy Thoughts one was a little too long for how I cut my white daisy. So I made a banner out of it, and then to give the bird kind of a background on this mist on the dark side, or the actual true mist color, I'm going ahead and sanding the edges and the center, and I use circular motions. I found for me, if I go up and down, I end up getting like linen lines, it looks like. So if you want that look, just sand up and down. For here, I wanted more distressed and, I don't know, not uniform lines. So that's why I'm going in little circles. And I sped that up just because it really is boring watching sanding and all the dust that comes off of there. So here, before I glued all these together off camera, I went ahead and distressed the edge of the MIST cardstock, but with the embroidery or the sanding tool, and then I inked the edges of all the other papers with MIST by just dragging it right through the ink pad. And here you can see that I cut that zip strip off and tucking it in underneath because it doesn't go, like I said, all the way across. And to make sure that that gets lined up after I cut the length that I need for the top, I'll grab the T-screw ruler. I'm only using half of it, and I'm just lining it up with the bottom zip strip so that the top is also in a line there. And that's as easy as that is for the basic assembly. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the ribbon at first, but I thought it made a nice shelf for the sentiment. So to make sure that I have enough if I want to do the same thing with a second card, I just cut that ribbon in half. You're welcome to obviously create these however you want. I'm just giving you an idea. So I put that down going into the MIST, and then it anchors everything to the edge of the cardstock too so that it's not floating. That's just a design feature or element that it's one of those things that make different compositions speak to different people or work for us. So from the background elements stamp, I grabbed those X's, and 5 of them were too many, so I trimmed my stamp as you saw. If I ever want to use 5, it'll go together perfectly fine. But for here, I just wanted 3, and then that'll also work on another layout. If I want to do just 2, I have that option now too. As I was putting the little bird tracks back on the stamp set, I noticed the small music note, and so I grabbed that and added it to the front of the card as well. Next, I'm just showing you all the component pieces that I have left from the kit. And this time, instead of doing an up and down, I thought I would do a horizontal split on this. And I liked on the last card how I trimmed the base piece to be 5 1/4 by 4, so it allowed that 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And I'm trying to decide what length, I didn't want to even half split on this. So I trimmed one, I believe at 3 1/4, and then the other is 2 1/2. So it's not a half and half split, but I wanted the top to be smaller than the bottom. And originally I'm showing here that I'm using the mulberry stripe paper on the bottom. As I sit with this on my desk and look at it, I'm not feeling it. These arrows I put on here to remind you any of the supplies that are used will be listed in the video description. You can check that out. There's also some links to some tools that I use almost all the time. So here again, I'm looking at that ribbon as my shelf for my sentiment. And like I said, I had this on my desk. I got interrupted by family, which was fine. But when I came back to my desk, it was serendipitous. I didn't like the balance of the card with the mulberry on the bottom. So for me, I flipped those two around, found the sentiment here, just a note, which I thought was great because I have that music note. And I'm like, oh, they're so clever. The designers that put these things together are so clever. And just like I found I had issues with the mist cardstock on the first card of it was just too plain, I'm going ahead and adding the honey butter color because that is one of the colors in Cosette, and just a swirl around, kind of haloing the bird here. And it just, like I said, it was one of those, I love clean lines, but for some reason on this day of creating, I wanted to muddy the waters a bit. Just like the first card, I inked all the edges in the mist ink directly, and you can even see there on that mist cardstock I bent it too much, so it made a little bigger of a mark on it, but I'm fine with that. I'm embracing the shabby chic, as they say. So again, add my little music notes there. I want to do something on the inside because I had pulled out my blending brush and have that honey butter ink right here. I'm going to go ahead and just make a really pale background for the happy thoughts sentiment that will go on the inside of this card. And that's it. These two cards are done. They came together quickly. You have components. If you happen to have other papers or bought Cosette, you have more of the ribbon there that you can create more of these, and the birds you can use obviously on any project. Here's a close-up. If you have any questions, let me know. You can connect with me again in the video description. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. Blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.